We are here at Open Cockpit Day, and I am with the great Larry McFarland. How are you today?
Great. It's a beautiful day to be out here.
This is a wonderful plane. This has a lot of history. Tell us a little bit about this.
Well, it's got a lot of history behind the 123. This airplane was manufactured in 1945, the same year I was manufactured. So that gives you an idea how old it is. But it was it's built. It was a workhorse. It's done about everything. I'll show you a picture here. It started out, they attempted to use it as a glider. They had to tow it with a C-47.
Oh, wow.
You know, and so the bad part is you've got troops in there and you've got somebody that's got to land the airplane. You know, and so after once or twice they go, that's not a good idea. But anyway, it's a real versatile airplane, get in and out of small airfields, dirt strips, and it could climb out fast. It carried cargo. You can see the pictures. It was used for aerial spray, getting rid of the jungles. I sprayed in Vietnam, and 95% malathion to kill mosquitoes, control malaria. You know, so airdrop. Can drop paratroops or cargo out the ramp in the back. Paratroop seats. It could be medevac. So spray. It just was a real utility airplane.
This was a helpful plane. This is the plane everybody needed for something at some point, right?
Very versatile. Could do just anything you needed it to do.
When did it stop flying? Around what year was that?
Probably around 1972 for the most part. I think there was one squadron in Ohio that had it another year or so, but by then, you know, they're really old and outdated and high maintenance and shortage of parts and things like that. So
when did it come here to Castle Air Museum?
Oh, I can't give you the answer to that. I'm going to say probably late 60, early 70.
It's been here for a while.
It's been here. It was one of the first airplanes.
Oh, wow. And then
I'd say in the first 10 airplanes.
There were some movies shot in here too.
Well, not here.
Not here, not at Castle Air Museum.
Yeah.
But like Con Air. What they said that was all fake, the underneath. So what's underneath this plane?
Not much.
Because it is a cargo plane. It does carry a lot. Even if you look in there, there's a lot of stuff still there. So it looks really spacious.
It's like I say, it was a very versatile airplane.
But everything was stored in here in this area. Everything that we're in right now.
Yep. And so it's a very safe airplane. There's no fuel in the wings. All the fuel is in the nacelles behind the engine. So it just could take a lot of punishment. You know, unprepared surfaces. Rough fields.
Interesting. It was a medevac too because of all the things it didn't have. No bathrooms, so no autopilots, air conditioning, or pressurization. So it's like they really packed a lot in here, but it wasn't made for a long time of travel, was it?
No. It's and it's very noisy in here. You notice there's no insulation. The tips of the props are about this far away from right there. You know, so if you were sitting here, you had to have earplugs or you were going to lose your hearing. Yeah.
That wouldn't have been fun to be on the medevac at that point, be in the bed at that point. So, how long was this about to travel in air? Was it like just made for like a 5-hour trip?
Not unless if we were flying over water or something like that, then you would have barrels of fuel in here. But typically a couple hours.
Okay.
You know, but in Vietnam we were doing short hops, and every place we landed would have fuel. So pretty much. So it was. It could go a couple hours.
And it wasn't very fast.
No. About 150 miles an hour was kind of an average speed for cruising, and but we didn't get to do a lot of that either.
So is there always two people in the front piloting the plane?
Yes, you had a pilot and a co-pilot, and you also had a flight engineer. On the spray airplanes, the flight engineer, this would be a 1,000-gallon tank here. Flight engineer was in a phone booth back there, so he had the doors open and he could see how the nozzles and things were working on that. Otherwise, this chair right here was for the flight engineer.
Oh, wow.
So it swivels around and becomes part of the flight deck.
That's really cool. And what about this over here?
Well, these are basically just hydraulic pumps and radio equipment and things like that. this over on this side, that's a little APU. So when we were on the ground, that would provide electrical power to run things. It was a hydraulic pumps and things like that if we were on the ground. So in the air, that wasn't running at all. So.
Wow. So this was a multi-service airplane. I love it. There's so many
A little
things.
bit of everything.
And then who would sit here in these seats?
Well, it intended those troop seats for the paratroopers, you know,
Okay.
and so this is rigged up for paratroopers.
Come up
Their
and move
parachute hooked onto this cable, then their ripcords, you know, hook onto these two cables. When the green light came on, they jumped.
It was time. It was go time.
But we carried passengers in this, or the paratroopers would sit in those seats before they, you know, to get to the destination. So those come out. It could be like medevac with all of the.
This is really cool. Thank you so much for taking us through this plane today.
Thank you.
My